Well, good evening. My name is Kim Weir. I am with the Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation, and I am tickled to be here on this spring evening with my friend Lisa Hall of the Aiken Thoroughbred Racing Hall of Fame and Museum. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Kim, it's great to be here tonight.
It is such fun to be here across the miles through the magic of technology. And I am tickled that we can gather all of our friends from across the country. And who knows, there might even be a few from around the world joining us for this virtual exhibit opening at the museum today. How about that? Did you ever think we were going to really pull this off?
It's been a pleasant task to follow through with. It's been wonderful. We're very excited about having it. It's the first time we've had an exhibit on the TRF, so we're thrilled to be able to do it.
Well, the horses are so grateful. I always say I'm grateful that my role is to speak for them. It's one of the very few things those magical creatures can't do. But to have a partner like you who's given us a place to tell their story at the beautiful museum in Aiken is just such a treat. Now, before we get started, and our plan this evening for all of our guests is to take all of our guests with us to your beautiful home in Aiken, Lisa. We're going to invite everyone watching, if you're on YouTube or you're on Facebook, to log in and leave us a comment. Let us know where you are as you watch today. I'm up here in Saratoga Springs. Lisa is there in Aiken, but we want to know where you are. So please do jot a note and let us know. Before we go on with the big event, which is introducing the exhibit, we do have a very special first guest to join us. A couple of special guests will join us after we visit the museum. But for this evening, just to kick things right off with a start and a splash, none other than Mr. Kip Elster of Kirkwood Stables is joining us. Hey there, Kip.
Hey, Kip.
Good evening. Glad to be here.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to have you. And you know, the technology is so magical. I'm not entirely sure where you're sitting as you join us tonight. Will you tell us?
Actually, I am sitting in Pug and Susie Hart's kitchen in Ocala. And we finished a horse sale here a week ago, and I've had a few little delays getting down to Gulfstream for the next one.
Well, I love knowing that you're in Ocala. That is a place that a lot of the TRF's attention is this year, and I hadn't even figured that out before we chatted. But you have been such a huge part of our life in South Carolina. And I am here above all to say thank you, Kip, for the leadership you have exhibited, the dedication, the passion, the true belief you have in the work of the TRF and the value of our horses. I just want to say, first and foremost, heartfelt thank you for all you have done and all that you do for our horses.
Well,
absolutely.
I'm glad to do it. I've done a lot of things over the years, and helping get this started and continuing is one of the things that I am most proud of. Wow.
That is a gift. You are a gift,
yes.
And today, with Lisa's help, we have an opportunity to really celebrate all that you have done so far, and we might even start thinking ahead to what we might look at in the future. But today is a day to celebrate almost 20 years of our horses in South Carolina, and that's what we're going to show off a little bit at the exhibit. But Kip, thank you for being with us this evening to start things off, and for all you've done. And know that we hope to see you soon in person, in good health, and with lots of horses.
Well, I can't wait to get back to full steam and get home and get back to work on it. I will say there are so many people to thank over the years that have helped with this program. I couldn't begin to list them all. When we started and got the original lease from the state to take over this piece of land and start the TRF farm and the vocational school, I started calling people, and we needed infrastructure to get going, and fencing and sheds and barns and just all kinds of things. And I will tell you right now, nobody said no.
Oh, wonderful.
It is wonderful. Well, that is where you are so right. I spend a lot of time saying that I have the honor of standing on the shoulders of giants for an organization that has been doing this work for nearly 40 years. There are just countless kind, dedicated, generous individuals, but it does take someone to rally them, Kip. And of all the people we're thanking tonight, you are right there at the very top of that list for rallying all of that support. So thank you. And
Well,
you know that I'll come and track you down to talk about our future as we get you back to your good health.
The one thing I will say before I sign off, these animals will do anything we dream up to ask them for. So I would ask that everybody use your imagination, whatever discipline you're in, whatever you can think of. They need a job, whether it's at a vocational school at the Wateree prison, whether it's helping veterans in a program for PTSD, whether it's a handicapped riding program, or any sort of riding or driving for that matter, discipline that you might dream up for a horse could possibly do. Use your imagination, take one of these horses or several and find them a job, because that's what they want.
That is a wonderful.
Well said.
Yes, thank you, Kip. That is so true. And I love your use of the word imagination, because it takes imagination to solve the world's problems, including giving a home to each of our horses. So thank you for issuing that challenge. And here's to creativity and good health and good things for our horses.
Hang on one second, would you please?
Of course.
With Susie Hart, and she has a word too.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
I'm with the TAA, and I'm on the board of TAA, and I do a lot of inspections. And I have to tell you, we've been really impressed lately with the quality of the care and the organization of the TRF facilities. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hart. What a lovely cameo. Thank you, Kip. You can bring all your friends to all of our live streams in the future.
And I think before I leave, I know William and Reed are sitting right there, but along with all the other people that I can't see right now that we have to thank, they're two special people who have persevered through the hard times. William has just kept slogging along through good and bad and kept the program going. Reed and his Groom Elite program, there is not a better program. He developed it from the ground up, and there is not a better teacher for the people and the horses than Reed McClellan, and I am big fan of both of them.
Well, that makes three of us on this call right now, and hundreds and many more out there in the world. Kip, thank you for shouting out for them, because they are heroes just with you of this program and these horses.
Anyway, thanks for having me, and I'm going to sign off for now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Kip.
Thanks, Kip.
Be well. Thanks for your time. Oh, what a treat. What a special guest that was, Miss Lisa.
Oh, absolutely.
I always say over and over again how I love how these horses bring us all together. And now we use a little technology added in. And that was just very special. So our thanks to Kip Elster and Dr. Hart for joining us too. But now let's take a breath and let's turn our eyes to that beautiful museum of yours, Miss Lisa. Will you do us of just telling everyone a little about what they're about to see?
Well, you're going to be welcomed into the carriage house that used to belong to Mrs. C. Oliver Island. The carriage house itself is over 100 years old, and we created a racing hall of fame for all our national champions that have trained here, 40 champions. And so we have a small gallery space. So we love to be able to bring educational, historical, art exhibits in and programs for children. So I hope that if you ever get a chance to come to Aiken, you certainly will stop by and visit with us. We'd love to have you.
Well, I can't wait. I've actually already told my mom that I'm looking at a fall trip to come see you in this beautiful spot. I will mention to all of our friends watching that the exhibit opens officially tomorrow, if I'm correct, Miss Lisa.
Correct.
Will you tell folks the hours for those who can actually come and what the regulations or rules are for safety?
Well, it'll open tomorrow and it'll be open through April 18th. We're open Tuesday through Friday from 2 to 5 p.m., Saturday 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sunday 2 to 5 p.m. There are no admission fees. We do take donations, but it's free. And COVID requirements, face masks are still required, and we just ask people to social distance while they're visiting with us.
Wonderful. Well, that sounds like a plan. And I hope there are lots of folks watching from Aiken who are going to march on over tomorrow and say hello and see the exhibit. But for the many of us, including me up here in Saratoga Springs, who can't quite make it tomorrow, I thought we might go ahead and reveal or kind of bring back the curtain and show folks the beautiful exhibit. So how about if we do that? You ready?
Yep. Let's go.
Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Hall. I'm the Museum Coordinator for the City of Aiken Parks, Recreation and Tourism Department, and I'd like to welcome you to the Aiken Thoroughbred Racing Hall of Fame and Museum located in historic Hopelands Gardens in Aiken, South Carolina. We are getting ready to open up our exhibit celebrating Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation and would like to take you inside and show you a sneak peek. The Aiken Thoroughbred Racing Hall of Fame and Museum opened in January of 1977, and we celebrate our 40 national champion racehorses that have trained at the historic Aiken training track. Here is our list of our racehorses, and we have several Kentucky Derby winners and Belmont Stakes winners and Preakness Stakes winners, and all these horses were named Horse of the Year or won an Eclipse Award. Hi, this is our exhibit about the Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation. They have been saving horses and changing lives for over 35 years. They take horses who have finished their racing career and retire them in locations all across the country. And these horses also participate in a program called Second Chances, where they retire to correctional centers throughout the country. There's also one here in Wateree, South Carolina. And we have inmates who work with these horses and learn the skills of how to take care of them properly. So when they finish their sentence, hopefully when they are released and get a job or try to get a job, they have the skills necessary to get a job in the equine profession. It's really important to tell this story. There are a lot of good rescue organizations all over the country, and the Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation is just one. But we are so pleased to bring them to Aiken, to the Aiken Thoroughbred Racing Hall of Fame and Museum. We would like to invite you to come to the museum. We are open Tuesday through Fridays from 2 to 5 p.m., Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sundays from 2 to 5 p.m. Please come and visit the exhibit while you're here. There's no admission charge, and if you need further information, please just give us a call at 803-642-7631 or email halloffame@cityofaiken.sc.gov. Thank you, and we hope to see you soon.
Good job. Lisa, you are quite the movie star now. That was tremendous. Congratulations, friend.
Well, thank you.
Well, and I have to say, is it always sunny in Aiken? Because the picture looked like a beautiful day. You're in that courtyard of yours.
It's not always sunny, but we picked a good day to do the recording. So
Oh, well, wonderful. Well, thank you for that warm welcome and that really fun sneak peek. And I do know you worked so hard, and our gratitude to you, my friend, for putting this together, for being moved to do it and doing all the work and making it happen for our horses. You are a true hero for the horses, and we are so grateful to you. Thank you.
well, thank you. It's been a privilege, an honor to do this for the TRF. We in Aiken appreciate everything that the TRF and all their volunteers do.
Well, you are kind to help me with the thank yous. As I thank you, I'm also going to ask our friend to show our slide, which we will not do the Academy Awards, but I will ask everyone watching to take a moment and just absorb a small sample, but a heartfelt sample of those individuals who have made this evening possible, especially Lisa and her team at the museum, but also over the many years, creeping up on 20 years of taking care of our horses in South Carolina. We've done our best to capture many of those names. Kip Elster, of course, who you just heard from, he mentioned a couple special friends who are going to join us here in a moment on the live stream. We know that the beloved Mr. John S. Rainey was such a devotee dedicated to this program, and we have memories of him and with gratitude to him. All of those who were on the board in South Carolina, and of course the team at the Wateree River Correctional Institution, from the warden Beckwith all the way to Lieutenant Davis, who's taking care of the horses today. So without reading everyone's name, please know that if you are listed here, we are so grateful to you, and we're excited about the future in South Carolina. And this exhibit today is a real opportunity to re-engage the community around our horses. So Lisa, why don't you and I come back together again, and then let's tell our guests about some special guests that we've invited to join us today, because we have three gentlemen who've chosen to join us for a few minutes who have very personal, direct experience with the TRF Second Chances Program in South Carolina. Better than you and I, although we're both pretty fond of talking, as you know, and we're both
Yes.
talking about the TRF, as we just saw on that movie. But these three gentlemen have been at the program. They've seen the horses. They've seen its magic. So let's invite the guys to join us. Well, here they come.
Hi, guys.
Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Hey, friends. Well, we are so glad to have you all with us. I'm going to ask you each to introduce yourselves, if you wouldn't mind, so we all know who you are and where you come from. William, may I ask you to go first?
I will be happy to. I'm William Cox. I live in Camden, South Carolina with my wife and two children, and I have been a volunteer and board chair of this organization since the initial founding meeting back in 2002. I'm happy to do it, and it's been one of the things clearly that's been my passion for this entire time. Charities come and go, but this one has always stuck with me.
Well, we are so grateful to have you, William. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Dr. McClellan, may I ask you to introduce yourself?
I'm Reed McClellan, and I'm the executive director of the Elite program, which does the Groom Elite classes and the Second Chances Groom Elite classes for the Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation. Got started with Kip and William at the TRF in South Carolina in 2005, and been with them ever since.
Oh, we are grateful for you, and we are also grateful to have Mr. Griffin, Chris, with us this evening. Chris, will you please introduce yourself?
My name is Christopher Griffin, and I'm a graduate of the Groom Elite program at Wateree Correctional, and I've taken the skills that I learned in there, and I'm still currently working with horses. I'm in Monroe, Georgia, working at a dressage barn. I'm very grateful for the program and everybody that's involved with it. Thank you.
You're wonderful. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. And as we wanted to put the exhibit at Aiken in context, I thought I'd ask you each, if you don't mind, just one question. You can share from your distinct perspectives of the impact that you have seen that our TRF Second Chances program has on the horses and the humans involved in every way. There's lots of things one could say, but each of you have been there at Wateree, and I'd love to ask you to just share a few thoughts on what the impact is in a way William, can I have you go first again?
I will, but I think in a minute or two, when you hear from Chris, you're going to understand what my passion is and why I've done this. Guys like him have been shining examples, and Reed will certainly agree with me that Christopher was great when he was in our program, but just to see the effect that this program and the coupling up with the horses and the change in personalities and strength and self-belief and self-worth, it's a fantastic event to see how the horses change those men and help those men get through that program. And you can also see the horses, they come in, sometimes sometimes just off the track, sometimes they've been out to pasture for a while, and to come in and watch them relax in the hands of these men when they're getting to know each other is really amazing. It really is amazing. It is truly 100% benefit for the man and the horse. And there's no other way to do that.
Oh, William, and you've been there. Thank you for sharing that. I also, if I could, before I go on to Reed, can you say a minute or two about our partnership with the team and the leadership at Wateree? Because I know that's been a great relationship you've helped us maintain over the years.
Yeah, Kim, and I'm so happy that you reminded me of that, because I told you, don't let me forget to talk about what a wonderful partnership we've had with the Department of Corrections, from Director Sterling down to Warden Beckwith, down to the staff members, the sergeants that really don't want to be named, and I understand why, but I cannot thank that partnership and that organization and all that hierarchy and state government, which is tough to wrangle, but they have been with us 100% in support the entire time. And you can't do this program without a significant input contribution from your farm landlord. And the South Carolina Department of Corrections has been unbelievable in that situation, and almost 20 years will vouch for that.
Yeah. Well, I know that partnership is the key to this whole program. It's a partnership between the horses and the humans, but at the administrative organizational level, it's a private organization, our little charity, the TRF, and a public partner in corrections. And when those two align, magical things happen, but it doesn't happen without a lot of care and relationship building. And William, you've been just critical beyond words at how you've kept us connected. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, you can kind of say so, but there are a lot, like Kip said, I didn't start this, I was just there, but there are so many people that have helped and made that input. Is absolutely not a one-man team. So no. Thank you very much, Kim.
Well, you are welcome, William. Now, Reed, you've had a very unique perspective on this program as well as so many across the country, but please share a bit about what you've seen in terms of the impact and how it happens.
Well, I actually started, the Groom Elite program was started to teach grooms at racetracks to work with racehorses, and it moved on up, and Kip saw me teaching at Colonial Downs and said, that's what we want for our guys. We want them to actually have a skill that they can go into an industry, because right there around Camden, they have the big 2-year-old in training industry, and they need guys that can actually work with, athletic horses. And that includes not just the race horses, but the show horses and the others as well. And so as a result of that, we started the program there at Wateree. We adapted the program from the racetrack to a program where guys were coming in that had never worked with horses before, and taking them through 6 months and getting them certified with the same certification exam that grooms that have been working at racetracks for 10 and 15 years were passing. And so they were qualified and got certified. That certification helped them in several ways. One is it helped them to have a resume. But whether they worked with horses or not, the fact that they learned some skills about themselves and about working with the horses and what the horses taught them about getting along and nonverbal communication enabled them to be successful and have, as one of the guys there at Wateree told me in the very first class, he said, I've been worried every day for the 3 years I was in here that I would come back because I hadn't changed. And it's a terrible place. But he said, the day I walked out of the round pen with I do declare, I knew I would never come back.
Wow.
And that's the kind of impact that these horses have had. And what South Carolina represented was, I went from there to Virginia, to Maryland, to Plymouth, Massachusetts, out to Illinois, a little trip into Indiana, 2 times out to California, Kentucky, New York, and now Florida. We basically have covered it. Over 350 grooms from the programs there at the different correctional institutions have been certified, much less the others. But it's like it's that life experience, and Chris will talk about that here in just a minute. But that's what it's impressed me with, is how that program that was seeded there in South Carolina has wound up having the branches all across this country and providing this opportunity for that many different men and women now.
Exactly. And even some young men with our juvenile
and juveniles now.
That we just opened.
Exactly.
So, well, Reed, I know it's hard to bottle your experience in a few minutes, but your ability to do it tonight is much appreciated. And just know that my thanks to you from all of us at the TRF and all who precede us and all who will succeed us is that lasting legacy you've made with this program is tremendous. And we are grateful for you. And without wanting our friend Christopher to be nervous, we all know that we'd love to hear your words, perhaps most of all, Mr. Green, to talk about this program and how it's impacted you.
I'd like to say this program has been a life changer for me. It more likely it saved my life. It gave me it's the first thing I ever had like a true passion for. And when I was incarcerated, it gave me hope, that I could get out and have a job and learn a job skill. And it's Second Chance Program. It's second chances for the horse and the inmate, and it teaches you how to love something other than yourself. And I'm very grateful for the program. I'm grateful for Mr. Dr. Reed and William Cox and everybody, everybody. And I feel like I owe my life to the TRF program, and it helped me stay out of prison. I'm very grateful for it.
Wow.
And I actually love the horses, and it's a passion. I've become obsessed with working with horses. It's just something I want to do for the rest of my life, and I'm just so grateful for everybody that's involved with the program. I'd like to say thank you very much.
Well, Chris, you make us so proud, and the horses are proud of you, and you're an inspiration to all of us. And when you say thank you, I want you to know that you're reaching out to all of those folks who support the TRF. It's the people who
everybody.
Yeah. Will you tell us a little bit about what you're doing now? Because you've really taken this horse obsession, this horse love, and you're doing it every day, are you not?
Yes, ma'am. I work for a Diamond Dressage. It's a dressage farm in Monroe, Georgia, and I manage the farm. And it's really great people I work for. They treat me like a family instead of just a regular worker. And I'm grateful for them. I'm indebted to them too, because I'll be here for until as long as they keep me here. It's great. It's great horses and great people, and that helps me out tremendously. It helps me just want to do the right thing in life.
Oh, gosh. That is very well said. They are lucky to have you, and we're grateful to them too, because it is about opportunities and giving you the chance to prove what you learned. Will, do you have anything you want to ask of Chris? We're not trying to put you on the spot, Chris, but you're a special guest tonight. So is there anything else we should ask Chris before we wrap up tonight?
That we should ask Chris?
Yeah.
I can't. I don't want to ask Chris anything, but I want to just tell him that, Chris is a poster boy for our program. He just embraced it. He loved it. He still loves it. He still loves what he learned, and he's taken it. A lot of our guys that get out of the program don't go in the horse world. A lot try to go and they don't make it. The old demons come back, and they can't keep it on track. Chris has kept it on track, and I applaud you, buddy. It's been a long time since we've seen each other in person, but I'm so proud of you and what you've done with your life. And if this helps other guys be able to grab those reins and take the bit, then you're the man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. I hope it does. I hope it does help somebody.
Absolutely.
You're very much an inspiration.
Absolutely.
Very much.
Thank you very much.
Reed, do you want to give us our closing word before we finish our thank yous? So,
Well, well, the only thing in regards to Chris and when when the guys get out, they have the tools and they have to apply them, and it's not easy. And they're going to go through things just like other people do when they get out, and they're working and they're trying to find a place. And that's one of the things that we, I think, bring to the program is not just that, okay, this is what you do and you either do this or you don't, because he's working with dressage horses, not working with race horses. But and he also has to, he's had to deal with some situations in life, and so those things apply to working with horses. And that's what I'm especially grateful for and proud of him for, is because he, even though he could have easily just turned his back on it, kind of like what William was saying, and he stuck with them. And why, Chris? Because of the horses, right?
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Because of how that connection was there. And that's what this whole thing is about. And I think that museum, I can't wait to get over there. I just had a niece that moved into Augusta there, not too far from there. And I'm going to suggest to them they go visit and be over there next time I get to come down to Wateree. And hopefully it'll be this summer. I plan on coming to visit because I'm really looking forward to it.
That is great.
Yeah, if I can jump in real quick and say, Lisa, thank you for doing this.
Thank
From
you.
an organizational standpoint, it's great, and love the video, and I hope as many people as possible can get an opportunity to experience that in person. My wife and I, she texted me while this was going on. She said we should go visit, and I agreed with her 100%. So we will be down.
Give me a call.
Oh,
Hey, Kim, we do have one lady. Amy is interested in asking Chris if the dressage horses are much different than the former race horses.
oh yeah, let's have him answer that. Chris, give us your thoughts.
I would say yes, because most of these dressage horses are, warm bloods, and the race horses are a little more on the muscle. They come off the track, so they didn't really have nobody, they wouldn't have really anybody spend a lot of time with them. So dressage horses are a little bit more tame. And yeah, they're a lot different. It's a lot different.
Yeah, I would think there's common things, but there's a lot of differences. I also think,
and the dressage horses are a lot older.
yes,
They're in their teens, so they've lived a good bit of life, Yeah, but it's a big difference between a warm blood and a thoroughbred. It's a very big difference.
Yeah. Well, I'm thankful for Amy for asking that question. And I did just take a minute to look at all the comments, which we won't spend time on. I just want to say, as we wrap up, I wanted to be mindful of folks' time. I want to leave everybody wanting to know more. First, about the exhibit, to go to Aiken to see the beautiful displays that Lisa has made. Also, to learn about the TRF and the Second Chances program, you can visit our website at trfinc.org. There's even a story on the Wateree page that is about Chris and his story, if you want to hear more of his story that he shared with us. And as we finish tonight, I want to also just say these words of thank you one more time to all the folks who helped over the many years, but especially for tonight, because there's one volunteer, and he's a new volunteer that we're going to give a shout out to, and his name is Eric Potato. He is a new South Carolinian, and he, as an eager volunteer, said, I'll make a phone call. I'll call the museum. Well, he found Lisa, and within moments, this whole thing had started. And it all shows me what each of us have experienced, that when you're inspired, the key is to take a step. And in Eric's class, it was to make a phone call, and he called Lisa, and look what happened. We got to spend this evening together. We got to bring Chris into this technological fold to talk about his experience, but it all started with someone being inspired and just taking that one step, whatever that one step is. I hope that everyone watching takes that one step. You can go visit our website. You can go to the museum. You can learn about horses, whatever it may be. I hope that Chris's story tonight will inspire you to do that, because Chris, you're an inspiration to us, and we are thankful to you.
Yes,
we sure are.
Thanks so much.
Well, friends, I think we've done it, and I want to leave everybody ready to go have their dinner and ready to book their trip to Aiken. And so I'm going to say, Lisa, you are a superstar. You are a hero for the horses. We are so grateful to you. William and Reed and Chris, thanks for being my co-host tonight. To Kip Elster for popping in and joining us at the top of the show, and to everyone watching. Please do know how much we appreciate your support wherever you are and whatever you do. The horses say thank you. And I think we'll let that close us out. Thanks, everybody.